Hi, and welcome back. My name is Elna from elnakane.com, and for today, we're going to talk about the 2024 action plan for new freelance writers. Oh yeah. All right, so let's get ready for 2024, right? It's coming, and the digital landscape is changing right now. If you realize all of 2023 totally changed a lot for the whole year. Now, as a new freelance writer who recently enrolled in my course, Write Your Way to Your First 1K, thank you so much for enrolling in my course. It's not enough to pick any niche or find any client that will pay you. Instead, I want you to focus on continuously updating your skills, especially in SEO, analytics, and multimedia content creation. That is a lot to think about for 2024, but this is sort of your game plan to getting to that point. So take the time, you can take all of 2024 to learn SEO, to really hone in on analytics and the multimedia content creation. So let's go into that just briefly before I get into my 5-step action plan for 2024. Now, if you don't know, SEO means search engine optimization. And with Google constantly updating their algorithm, many businesses, content creators, and entrepreneurs are focusing on updating old content since it lost ranking in Google and creating highly optimized SEO content that will rank in Google. This is a big push right now. I mean, a lot of SEO people are talking about these recent Google algorithm updates. It's been said through like Facebook groups and on X or Twitter that, you know, businesses can lose up to 90% of their traffic because of Google's updates. So while they may rely in the beginning to do like content with AI, they're probably realizing that the reason why they got hit in the first place was because of the thin AI content that they have. So they are probably in 2024 re-strategizing their content plan and are looking for specialized writers. And that is my focus for this plan for 2024 for new writers and even for established writers like myself to really hone in on that specialization. So I do feel like SEO will be a big part of that specialization. And if you need more help with SEO, my course, Freelance Blogging in a Weekend, covers the new information for SEO in 2024. It's been recently updated. Most of each module has been updated for 2024. There's only a couple lessons that are evergreen that I feel that the information is still relevant for 2024. So I kept it there because those are really good lessons and I didn't want to redo them and just recopy what I did already. Go ahead, you can go to my blog, elnakane.com, and check on the courses, and you can take a look at the Freelance Blogging in a Weekend and see if that's for you. Now, with analytics, I wouldn't be concerned about understanding like Google Analytics or social media analytic tools and things like that. That may not be necessary, especially if your writing niche is away from like digital marketing content. What I mean by analytics is being concerned with your own analytics, with your own strategy. So for new writers, pitching will be a big part of growing your business. And to be more efficient in this new strategy that you'll be learning, I want you to focus on which platform or job board or niche responded the most. Now, if you are pitching, let's say, to 2 different types of niches. So for me, it might be social media marketing platforms I might be pitching to, and then I might be pitching to digital marketing platforms. They're slightly different. So my pitches would be different for those 2 types of niche industries. But then I would take an intake after, let's say, a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, and seeing which niche gave me the most response. If I was hearing a lot from social media marketing platforms, those businesses, instead of the digital marketing platforms, then I would focus more on social media marketing platforms and pitch more to those companies. So that's what I want you to do as a new writer when you develop your pitching strategy. I also want you to look at how many follow-ups did you send in order to get that response. So did you find that only sending 1 follow-up email got you the most response from all of your pitches, or was it the 4th or 5th follow-up that you ended up doing, right? So you need to reevaluate that, so then you'll be prepared to know that this is a longer journey, that maybe you need to follow up 4 times before you really hear back from companies. And by that time, if you realize through your analytics that you're not going to hear back from them, you're not going to waste your time and move on to the next company that you want to work for. And then also look at which pitch pitch template yielded the most gigs. Now, in my course, Write Your Way to First 1K, I do have a pitch library, pitch archive with lots of different pitches. I've also included pitches from course students that they've used and that have yielded them gigs. So those are in there as well. But generally, you're going to find when you do your pitching, especially if you're going to pitch dozens a day or dozens a week, that you need some form of pitch template that you can go by and then just put in the personalization for each company as you go. So it's a quicker, more efficient process. And then you'll see that, oh, you know what? The template A here, it yields the best response. So I'm going to just tweak my template A right here and versus template B, C, or D. So then when you hone in on your strategy, you'll have an easier chance at landing more work and you'll know what works, right? After all of that. So finally, with multimedia content creation, you're going to see many more businesses using other platforms besides Google because of all the Google updates and the volatility of Google right now in order to grow their brand. You might see businesses focus on TikTok and Instagram. So video creation might be a big strategy for them. Same thing with YouTube. Or they might focus on podcast creation and go on Podbean, for example. They might use Pinterest as a way to just pump out those graphics and infographics to grow their traffic and leads. Or they might use email marketing, so something like Drip or ConvertKit, to start their lead generation strategy and getting those leads onto their email list. So there's lots of different ways businesses can use content to get their leads so that they can get customers and sales. And a lot of them are starting to use TikTok, for example, as a bigger push than Instagram, YouTube, podcast creation, and then Pinterest and Drip. Those are just examples. So Drip is just one of the many email marketing services that businesses might use. Now, as a new writer, there's more to this than just writing, if you're realizing by now. Becoming familiar with social media platforms and other ways to create content like podcasts or infographics are going to be a bigger push for 2024. So my suggestion right now is to follow brands on Instagram and TikTok, maybe subscribe to their YouTube channel. This will just help you familiarize yourself with the platforms that you're on and how these businesses are using video or podcasts to grow their leads. So for example, WordTune is one of my clients, and when I was hired, the content lead who interviewed me asked me about the type of content that I create and would it be good for, let's say, a YouTube video to write content in that manner. So making it, having like bullet lists, having lots of examples, and then structuring it in a way so that it could almost read like a script for YouTube. I said, sure, I can write like that. That's no problem since I have my own YouTube channel. I know how to do this. It's easy to pull from a blog post for a YouTube video. And that's exactly what they did. They grew their channel by using our content on the WordTune blog to create these types of YouTube videos. So copywriting, there's a big post on how to be a copywriter. Same thing with writing social media posts. There's a blog post on WordTune about that. And so they just use those bullet lists, those ideas to streamline it into a video. So that's what I mean when you are familiarizing yourself with these platforms, is also to understand how these businesses are using these platforms to grow their brands and leads. That's what WordTune is doing, for example. All right, so let's look at your 5-step action plan for 2024. The first thing I want you to focus on is a specialized niche. Now, being a general writer or a writer in multiple niches isn't the best strategy for 2024. Now, you can choose more than one niche, but I want you to start thinking about one specialized niche you can focus on. For me, I picked, I think it was like parenting or clean living. But through all of that, I also focused on marketing my business. So I found that I was reading more about digital marketing. And so then that became my focus. I focused on digital marketing content as a writer. So even though I picked parenting and 2 other niches, but I really wanted to be successful in those niches, but I found that my passion was marketing. So that's what I focused on. So with you and your journey, you can pick 3 niches and then you'll find just through your process of building your business that maybe one of them will be more of a passion for you and you want to write more about that topic. Then specialize in that topic and get to know that topic inside and out. If it's not a topic, it can also be a type of content. So copywriting or white papers, for example. So you can still, be a writer in the parenting niche, write more white papers for those B2B businesses that target parents. As another example, if you want to focus on, let's say, copywriting, and then you want to target, let's say, PR agencies, you can write like public apology letters or speeches or press releases or crisis communication content. There's a lot of different areas that a PR agency might need from a writer. So you would learn the skills of crafting a speech or press release, and this can help you become a better freelance writer and land more high-paying jobs. And that's how you specialize in a niche. The second part to this 5-step action plan is building a personal brand. Now, back in 2014, it was okay to have a Facebook page to market your freelance writing business. This is what I was seeing all over the internet back when I first started. And it was only through trial and error that I found that having my own website was probably a better option. And nowadays, this is the standard that you do need some form of a website. I call it a writer website. And you also need social media profiles to appear as a professional content writer. There are so many blogs out there, so many freelancers out there that do not have a website. They think it's too hard, it's too techy, whatever it is. I do have a course in creating your own website, so you can take a look at that. But there's also YouTube. There's also easier platforms to get started. So you can check that out as well. But trust me, if you have a website, that's your personal brand. The colors you choose, the images you use, the copy that you write, all forms your personal brand. And businesses like that. They also want to see, are you in other places online? Are you on Twitter or X? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Medium, for example? All of these are platforms that you can get started on. But if you're not on LinkedIn and you don't have a self-hosted website, for example, it will be hard for businesses to trust you and hire you. I know for me, when I'm looking at writer websites and I don't see a picture or anything, I get a little suspicious about that. I'm like, who are they really? And then I go to their LinkedIn and it's still not a picture of them. I don't know. They don't give much information about themselves. That doesn't suit well for me. So I don't have that trust with that brand, basically, because it's a brand, it's not a person. Now, don't worry, this doesn't happen overnight, but over time, you can get onto X or Twitter or Instagram and post occasionally. I go in spurts and that's fine. So for example, I haven't done a story in weeks, probably all of November, and my last post was about October. I don't create content regularly on Instagram, now on TikTok, and even on YouTube. I do when I can, and it hasn't hurt me as long as you do update whenever you can. Now, other ways you can grow your personal brand, you can start a blog, or like I mentioned, go on Medium and share your content and knowledge about your niche topic. So for example, if you want to be a pet writer, your blog can be all about your dog and some dog content, the best dog toys to use, the food, or maybe the challenges you had about finding the right food for your dog. You can share that on a blog or on Medium, and it's about your niche industry, your topic. You can also create a unique selling point, a USP, that tells the businesses who you are and what you do, and this is unique to you and how you value your writing business. I do share a lesson about that in my Write to 1K course, so you can network with other freelancers and get into various social circles to grow your brand. This is what I did early on. I followed other freelancers and we created our own Facebook group, and we met up once a month to talk about freelancing. And then I also followed graphic designers on Twitter or X and followed them to get to know what kind of content they're producing. And over time, I built a social circle around freelancers, entrepreneurs, graphic designers, and then my clients. And then consider building an email list to connect with content creators or entrepreneurs. Now, I do see a couple of freelance writers that are doing this, especially in my niche in digital marketing. They might have a content chronicles email list, for example, and then they just share the news about content creation and content marketing. And entrepreneurs and new people, startups might want to sign up to that. When they realize that you're also a writer, they might reach out to you. So that's a way to get clients. It's a long-term strategy and it's not consistent, but it's a method to use. Now, the third step to this action plan is to showcase a portfolio with returning clients. This is key now, especially for 2024. Now, I mentioned this idea in my portfolio mistakes video, so make sure you watch that after this one if you haven't. But clients today are checking out these portfolios and seeing if the writer has clients and not just like one-off pieces or ad hoc pieces. Now, while it's not bad to have ad hoc content in your portfolio, try to make the bulk of it with returning clients. And you can sort of fake this by becoming a contributor for a website. So this is easily done on Medium. So this is my Medium profile, and I do contribute to other publications. So Better Marketing, the Side Hustle Club, Illumination is a big one. So I have a lot of content in Illumination. These are my platforms. Here's another one from Illumination illumination, and then better marketing. So you can see that if I decided to use these, if I was a brand new writer and I was writing on Medium and I got into the publications and writing content for them, and I did it several times, then I can use that in my portfolio and say that I'm a writer for illumination, I'm a writer for better marketing. And then when they click on those blog posts, they're all there. Like you might have 3 or 4 on your portfolio about being a writer for better marketing, and they can see that. So that's, sort of a fake it kind of way. It's not like they hired you. It's not like you're a contributor, but you're submitting your content to those platforms. So that's like a workaround to that strategy. Next, I want you to be comfortable with using AI tools. Now, a lot of my videos recently have been about that concept, that topic of just being comfortable, knowing what they are and using them. It just seems that each day there is something new in the AI world. And as an online writer, it's our job to know all about it. For me, I follow SEOs that talk about AI. I follow them on X or Twitter, and I also watch content creators on YouTube that talk about AI. Now, Matt Wolf, for example, dedicates his videos to sharing the latest AI news. So here's Matt Wolf's YouTube channel. He has almost 500,000 subscribers, and he produces videos consistently, like 2 or 3 times a week. And he talks about AI in particular. He might talk about certain AI tools and then AI news. So here's his latest one here, make a viral movie trailer with AI. He teaches you how to do this, what tools that they're using. And before that was the week's AI news changes, the world forever. So this is, he consolidates all the news that he's been reading about and shares it in this video. So he's a great content creator to follow if you're a writer and you want to understand more about AI. Why is that important? Well, clients may seek a writer who needs to edit AI content, or a writer to use an AI writing tool that the company developed, for example. By using different AI tools like Grammarly or ChatGPT, or AI tools in established platforms like Tailwind or YouTube, because they also have AI features, you'll equip yourself with the knowledge businesses are looking for in their writers. And for example, GoDaddy hired me to write content. But over the months, I've also edited AI content and used AI content to help me Canadianize American content. That was a nice little project that I did recently. It was fun. So instead of declining those gigs because the editor hits me up and says, hey, do you want to work on this project with me? I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And then I'll say yes or no to it. So instead of declining those types of gigs with AI content and Canadianizing the content using AI, I ended up making money because I was comfortable using ChatGPT or Jasper AI, or even editing the content. So take the time to learn how to use these tools, as they may help you land more gigs. And just FYI, I have recently updated my Write to 1K course with a new module all about AI writing. I think these are the specific type of lessons that I wanted to teach new writers, that wasn't too content heavy, didn't talk too much about AI, but what they needed to know. They need to know where you stand with AI. You need to know how to use the AI writing tools and how to write an AIO writing project. So you go behind the scenes of that with me. And I believe I did talk about my GoDaddy project in this lesson here. So you get to see what I was doing for GoDaddy with AI. And then finally, I want you focusing on a specialized form of content. I want you to start learning more different types of content. And even if you're not that familiar with it, or you're just not ready to dive deep into different styles of content, you can also just term yourself differently. If you just write blog posts, is basically what I do, but I term it differently. I use specialized words that make my content service more valuable to businesses. So instead of just saying I'm a blog post writer, I'm an SEO long form content writer, or I'm a POV content writer. That's more thought leadership content, or conversion focused content writer. You need to add these like pizzazz types of words to really title yourself so that you look like you know what you're doing. It's specialized content. Writing blog posts, it's probably long form. You're probably using SEO. You've learned either it's more thought leadership, so your perspectives, or you really focus on copywriting and these conversion focused content that you create. If that's what you're doing in your service as a blog post writer, then that's your title. That's your service that you're providing. And it looks more valuable. It looks like you are specialized. And like I said, as a writer, it's your job to continuously learn. And the best things to learn is to be a better writer. And you do this by learning different types of writing, like the SEO content that maybe you're not familiar with, or viral content, or copywriting, or maybe bottom of the funnel content, or email emails and newsletters. These are types of writing that businesses are seeking. So for example, on a job board, I found a job ad here that at the bottom it says, bonus, if you've got bottom of the funnel piece in your portfolio that shows off your ability to differentiate B2B tools and provide helpful details for the reader. That's who they want to seek. Do you have a sample piece of the best, AI writing tools for B2B businesses? And then you break down all of that. That's what bottom of the funnel content is. It's more of that talking about the products, talking about the descriptions of that and what it entails. So it's more of like you've got the client, but they want to learn more about the tool or the service or the product that you have. That's more bottom of the funnel piece of content. If you want to specialize in that, then that would be your term. You're a bottom of the funnel writer or top of the funnel writer, right? Those are the type of terms that businesses use and that understand. All right, so that's your 2024 action plan for new writers. If you feel that you can do this, that you are excited and pumped, make sure to go to elnakane.com, check out what I have. I have lots of helpful blog posts. I also have a free course to help you get started, and I have various courses as well that will teach you how to write SEO content or to be a successful freelance writer or a freelance blogger. Lots of different types of courses to help you get started as a writer in 2024. So take a look at that. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more actionable freelance writing advice from a mom of twins. I'll see you in the next video.